Hey guys, Poison Gift here. I've had a number of my viewers request that I do a video showing where all the loot areas are in Interchange. There's a number of videos out there, but they all kind of focus on getting through the map quickly for money, or they do show loot areas, but I don't think they do a very thorough job. So I'm not going to cover every single spawn. It honestly would be a massive video for that. I actually tried doing this once already, looting all the containers, and it took 47 minutes to do the ones I'm planning on hitting. So we're going to run through. We're not going to actually loot anything. What I will say is if you can get your hands on an MK3 and a Pilgrim, that gives you all these spaces here to work with. Obviously you would normally bring in some ammo for a gun. But what you can do is, if you're concerned about losing your stuff, ensure it'll find a spot you'll remember. So like, I often find this little spot. If I spawn on this side, I just drop my backpack and Pilgrim. If I'm worried about losing it, drop it in there. Make sure it's a bit more visible than I'd like. But drop it in there, go in, spend 10-15 minutes hunting people, deal with them. If you die, you get it back on insurance. If not, you can get it. You can go through and do your thing. Now this is in an offline run, so we're not worried about picking that stuff up. You can see already there's a whole lot of drinks. Now it is very important to keep an eye out for drinks, because you're going to be in here doing this run the most part of the hour. You're going to get dehydrated. Now, so let's get started. Now, in here there is a whole lot of medical supplies. I don't have the key for this, so I can't really show you. There's a duffel right there. But there is a whole lot of meds in there. So we're not actually going to go into IKEA yet. We're going to start just at this entrance here. Over here, we've got the area where the escalator comes down. There's a duffel there, and there's some loose spawns for ammo and food in here. What we're really interested in is over this other side. We've got a weapons crate right there. There's one weapons crate. The back of this escalator, we actually have another one. Just back here, another one there. I believe a gun sometimes spawns somewhere along here as well. Once that is done, we can go upstairs to the IKEA, or IDEA. Now in IDEA, there's a whole lot of cash registers. If you get the key for the cash registers, you can get around about 150k rubles from the cash registers. They are all locked, so it is going to take you quite some time going through, unlocking every single one, taking the money out, putting it into your inventory, and then moving to the next one. I would recommend always coming in armed, because you're going to have other PMCs, and people are starting to catch on to the fact that there is so much loot in here. Now on the left side of IKEA, we've got in here a duffel, some tech spawns along here, so there's a hard drive right there. We've got a handful of computers, one there, so it's 2, 3, that's the third one there. And all along, like all on the desks, there's also chances for circuit boards, CPUs, that sort of thing. You can come back out the front here. You can quite consistently get like 3 CPUs, 4 or 5 circuit boards, a couple of GPUs from the PCs alone. Over there, there's some like little lockers, security lockers. They often have gold chains in them. Sometimes it's chainless, but you know, worth checking. Now the way I normally approach this is to get into either here or Oli, depending on which side I spawn on. So the one set of spawns there, the other one's a diagonal opposite. We get in, and then what I usually do is I work through the offices first, hit the computers, because they're the things people tend to go for, so you're likely to run into people there, and if not, you want to get the stuff before they do. Now, little trick, what you can do is you can press the console button, bring it down, type in your FPS 2, and see where it says packets in. Obviously I'm offline, so there's no data coming in or going out. Where it says packets in, that will have a number. If you divide that number by 2, that's how many people or scavs are in the map. In this map there are no scavs, so we don't need to worry about it. So if it says 10, you know there are 5 other people. If it says 0, then you know you're on your own. Now, so we come in through this way. There is nothing on this side, just some stairs that go upstairs. But in here we have some more computers. Another one there. One there. We actually have, I believe, a computer in here as well. Yep, just there. And then finally there is 2 here, so that's 5 computers in this room. Keep on moving, so that hallway we came in, that just loops around there. We go through here, so we've gone from IKEA down through the offices, and we actually come out at Goshen, or Goshen, whichever it is. This is the red one, so IKEA is blue, Oli is green, and Goshen is red. This is the supermarket. You can come in here, you can get a shit ton of food and drinks, and if you have the keys for this cash register set, you can make a lot more than you can from IKEA. But we're not interested in that at the moment, we're just going to go through. So you want to get to this middle section here, just here, and you want to walk down past these crates. Actually, we're going to go over slightly to the left, because I just remembered one over here. Got the campsite here, which obviously you can see is 2 tents. Sometimes there's stuff inside the camps, there's a chainlet in there. It's not usually too valuable. Med spawn there, but you'll quite often get statues and gold coins, not gold coins, gold chains here. There's nothing there this time, but you know, as you come through here, so this is normally your second point of interest after going through the offices. You want to keep an eye out for drinks all along these shelves, because if you haven't picked up a drink by this point, you need to be definitely paying attention to get one. Over to the left here, just behind the campsite, we've got a little crate, and this AK spawns there about 80% of the time. We keep going through to the back. Oh, we're going a little bit too far. We're going to go back to the middle. So you'll know the middle when you see this truck right up ahead. And at this truck we have a weapon case, and we go out the back here. We have a big weapon crate there. There's quite often armor here, so we've got a helmet. There is often a gun right on top of here. It's usually an AKM, but I believe it can be a number of guns. I'm gonna go around to this side. And out in the back of that van, right there, you can see there's another weapon crate. Now, all through the back shelving of this shop here, so we head back in here. All through these shelves here on both sides, all the way down. This place is massive, this shop. Like, that's the end wall down there. I'm talking about all these shelves here. All these shelves along here. Along the ground, you can quite often find a backpack and some armor. Usually it's Tarbank or Packer, but I have found UN armor there once or twice. Now this shelf here is different to the other ones because you'll find gun parts. Nothing too particularly noteworthy. This place is also great for Tushonka. You can pull out a good 10 or so cans of Tushonka from this place. So we're not going to worry about the inside of the mall yet. This is the offices we came out of over here. That door way down there, that's the door we came out of. We keep going past this little blocked area. And we're just going to check a weapons crate before we go into the next set of offices. Weapons crate just down here. So you find this like food serving area. Get a weapons crate just there. There is a couple of weapons crates along the back wall there, but they're a bit out of the way. I don't usually bother with them, and they're only the little ones. These are more of those lockers I was talking about over near IKEA, and these all have chances for gold chains. I feel like there's a chance Bitcoin spawns in them, but I've never seen one, so I just feel that way. Money, so you know, there's a bit of stuff in there. In here we have another weapons crate just there. And in this one here, you can actually get a weapon spawn on there. Usually there's ammo. Nothing in there this time. But so we head back through the opposite side of here. We've got another little office corridor area. We go in here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 computers, and as you may have just seen, there's also a weapons crate right there. In here is just a duffel. Nothing else as far as I know, just a duffel. But, so there's another 5 computers to hit up. So we're at about 15 or so computers, I think, at this point. Now, if you come through, straight through here, under this set of stairs, there is a weapons crate right there. Head back out this way now. We're back in the corridor. Again, that's the door we went in. Head around this way, and this will bring us out near Oli. So the offices connect the 3 main big shops. And they're pretty easy to get through. Now, if you ever need to dump your stuff in the run, these bathrooms, as far as I know, there's nothing of value in any of the bathrooms. So they're a good spot to dump your gear if you need to dump it. Worried about someone taking it. Yeah, so we're going to ignore the middle stuff still. We're going to concentrate on the Oli for now. Now, inside Oli, there is a whole lot of weapons crates. I find Oli seems to be a fairly heavily trafficked store, so I don't actually hit them very often. There's more of those secure lockers just there, so you can get gold chains. Yeah, I don't go into Oli too much, unless I'm looking for PvP. Now, there is another 1, 2, I think there's 4 computers in here. 3 computers. So that's another 3. Then over here we've got the early offices. Now in the first one there is a computer, and in the third one there is a computer. In here we've got, so this is your exit out to the front of the complex again. In here we've got this door here which is locked. You need the early office key. That has 1 computer in it. Just there. We've got another set of offices up here. Now we have, I think, just 1 computer. 1 computer there, yeah. Now the key for the early cash registers is meant to spawn, I believe, right here, but I haven't actually seen it, so it's going by what people have said on the internet. And in here we have another computer just there. Is there anything else worthy? Drink. Now coming through this side, that goes into Oli, but there's actually this place here that everyone seems to just ignore. And if you come in here, it's a good little spot to hit, because if I go on past the door, I did. You want to take this door immediately inside. All the doors around here are blocked, so I think that's why everyone ignores it. Come through that door and then through this one, and we've got a duffel. Nothing too special. So you might be thinking, why bother? But here we go. Here's a nice big weapon crate. And we've got a computer there. I think there's only the 1 computer. No, 1, 2, 3. 3 computers. So, you know, that's, I think I've counted 19 or 20 computers in this map. And they're all centralized in groups, so they're pretty easy to hit. But so that brings us, that's the 3 main shops done. Again, like I said, there's a whole lot of places in here. Like this little gazebo sort of thing has nothing. That's the wrong one. There's a little gazebo like that somewhere. Maybe that one. Yes, that one there has a little weapons crate in it. I don't hit them too much. But this place is great for gas analyzers. A lot of your quest items, gas analyzers and Geiger counters and alkali and stuff for your quests and trades. Good spot to hit. Now, so that's the outside area and the offices. So I will link a map in the description. I would recommend taking a look at that whenever you are noting a name of a place, or like right now you can look at it and see where we've gone along the offices, because this is a very disorientating place to explore the first time. Now, we have 2 levels. We've got the main level and then upstairs. We'll do the main level first. So coming straight from Oli, and again, you can do this from either side. Got a duffel here. All of these couches can have backpacks and armor on them. It will usually be Packer or 3M. Sometimes you can get better. And the backpacks are usually MBSS's. MBSS backpacks, rather. Sometimes you can get scab backpacks. If you see a backpack, search it. Don't... Here we go, here's an MBSS. Don't just leave it if you don't need a backpack. Nothing in there. You can get keys and stuff in them, is what I was going to say. On this back couch, we've got a crate. Along here, you can find ammo. There's an ammo crate right there. Sometimes you can find horse statues, alkali, all that sort of stuff. Drinks everywhere. So, once that's done, there's not really too much down in that corner, but this Texho store, this has graphics cards, CPUs, circuit boards, Geiger counters, gas analyzers, all sorts in here. And we're not going to get anything because of course we're not. But you know, you can get all sorts in there. Any tech store is good for that stuff. And speaking of tech stores, this Rasmussen here is another tech store. In the run I did that took 47 minutes, I actually found 2 graphics cards in here. And we're not going to find anything this run. There's a gas gas analyzer. There is also a weapons crate though. Jump back out here. Now anywhere you see these mannequins, just have a look at them as you walk past. They have a chance to spawn helmets on them. Sometimes armor, but usually helmets. Okay, this place here, this attic. In here, there is a weapons crate. You want to go in and there's a whole lot of other little bits and pieces that spawn in here, like gold chains, weapon parts, ammo, mags, all that sort of stuff. But you want to go into this part where this other entrance is, and just in the corner right there is a weapons crate. Okay, so we don't really need to go down here, I don't think. Going back there. All the places where you see like stacks of crates like this, just as you're moving past, don't bother going to them all, but just have a look. Sometimes you'll find sights on them, or you'll find a gun, or you know, bits and pieces everywhere. Especially the ones covered in tarps like this. I quite often, this one in particular, this little setup of like 3 of them in the stairs, you find lots of stuff in them. Now, if you have seen any videos of this map, this is the store people usually point to as the loot store. This is where everyone that is coming in as a hatchling will go to first, in my experience. And the reason for that is, we have an AK that spawns here about 50% of the time. These mannequins can have helmets on it. Ammo and gun parts everywhere. One gun crate there. Small weapons crate there. Another weapons crate here. Gun parts along here. A mannequin that can spawn fort armor, though usually if it has armor it'll be the Gazelle one. Weapons locker. More ammo and gun parts, and then in here you can quite often get gold chains just there and there where that chainlet is. So you will find a lot of people come to this place. This is usually, if they're not going here, they're going for the cash registers. Now, just out here, so we're moving into the middle section. This is Gosham, just here, the red store. If we go into this shop right here, which is Pretty Lights, this is a really good shop. There's nothing on this side, as far as I know. I mean, you can get hats and clothing items and that. But on this side, all these crates have chances for weapon mods and stuff to spawn on them. I've also seen a fully modded M870 shotgun spawn there. So there'll quite often be sights and bits and pieces along the top here. We've got a weapon crate down here, and then around this side here, just on this here, we have gold chain spawn. Sometimes there'll be statues, and you can actually get bitcoins in this one right here. I've not seen them there, but I've seen screenshots of them spawning there. So there's a receiver for a stock for a SKS. So we head down to this middle bit. So you can kind of break them all in two. This is your very middle bit, and you've got your Gosham just there. IKEA is on the right side, and Oli is on the left. We're going to head down. We're going to cover this side before we move to that side. This is the Kiba Store. You need a key to get in there. They've nerfed it anyway. There's not too much loot in there now. There will be eventually. I don't know what that is on there. Looks like a Murray or something. Will be eventually, but at the moment they've nerfed it because people weren't meant to be able to get in there. Brutal shop, wouldn't bother. It's a waste of time unless you're looking for duffel bags, toolboxes, that sort of thing. It is worth noting that everything you search actually levels up your attention and memory skills, which helps you find and loot stuff quicker. Down here, the National, we've got a couple of jackets, we've got a whole lot of food spawns, some med spawns, a duffel. These shelves here can have statues and stuff. How are we doing for... Let's see what there's heaps of drinks in here usually. And we've got 4 filing cabinets, so 1 there, 3 there. So that's pretty useful. Filing cabinets are your best spot for keys. You can get money in them, so on. Again, the mannequins in here, good for sometimes getting helmets, not very often in those stores though. So that about does it for the Oli side of the building on this level. In Mantis, there's a whole lot of med spawns and stuff. Nothing too flash, but it's worth checking out. German is another store with tech components in it. Get graphics cards. You'll usually find T-plugs in here, the gas analyzer, and a Geiger counter, but sometimes you'll find things like graphics cards and CPUs. This is why it's a good idea to bring in a torch, because you can quite often miss stuff. Like CPUs in particular are very small. It's really easy to miss. Like that gas analyzer, probably wouldn't think anything of that black dot if you didn't have a flashlight on. In Voyage, we have a jacket on that side, a jacket on that side, and then there is this big weapons crate right there. Most people seem to miss this store, so it's good to keep in mind. What is this store? Costin? Costin's a bit of a... nothing much. Mannequins, you might get a backpack spawn in here. Sort of thing. Nothing too much down that corner. No, I lie. There is actually a weapons crate down here. Come into this, so this is, I don't know what this is, the bookstore. Weapons crate sitting right on that couch. Head back out. Not too much in there. There's a couple of jackets, duffels. This place here, this is the Emacom medical unit. You need a key, you need this key here, Emacom medical unit MES key. In here you've got heaps of med spawns and a weapons crate. You will find usually 4 or 5 Salewas in there, a whole lot of cars, some morphine, good for meds. Couple of jackets along here. Now, so down there is IKEA. We don't really need to go down this bit. Over here, this place that I don't know the name of, but it's got stars on the roof. This is a good place for backpacks and armor. Doesn't look like we've got any here today. There's a big weapons crate there as well though. There will, about 30% of the time, be a packer sitting right here. Sometimes a tar bank. Very, very infrequently a UN armor, usually a packer. And so that brings us back to the front there. And we'll get back over to the IKEA section here. Because that puts us at the end of the second level. So now what we're going to do is head upstairs and do the third level. Third level is much lower on loot. There's our IKEA. So again, from the front of the building, this is the front over here. If you're facing the complex, IKEA is always on the left, Oli is always on the right. And if you're coming from the back, obviously that's the other way around. So we go upstairs from the IKEA. Come up here. This Tarkov star, you can see right there. G phones. So we've got 1 G phone, 2 G phones, They're worth, I think, about roughly 20k each. So they're a good little shop. Now if we head down away from the front of the building, this goes on both sides. There are weapon crates in similar spots on both sides. We want to go past all this to this area that looks like it's kind of a dead end. And that's because it more or less is. What it actually is this leads to the top of the stairs we saw on the bottom level. But over here in this corner there's a weapons crate right there. You just climb up and get up there. We head back along this side, there's actually a weapons crate right there as well. Now we'll head back into this middle section and we'll go right down the middle. A lot of the shops up here aren't too useful. I mean, this one has a whole lot of meds in the back you can get. But there's nothing... There's no, like, Kiba gun store sort of area. There is in here a weapons crate. Just over here. And again, lots of couches means there's a chance for armor and backpacks to spawn. Nothing this time, but we do have 2 horse figurines there. Easy. Okay, so right now we are above Austin, which means the general shop with all the place that I said all the hatchlings tend to go to is right here, I believe. Maybe I might have that wrong. See how good my knowledge is from the top. Nope, that's the Emacom health place. My bad. Now over here, this burger spot. Everyone runs past this. But you shouldn't, because right here is a weapons crate under the best burgers on earth sign. Up here we've got the bit in the middle. This is the bit I thought we were at, I think. No, I was on the wrong side entirely. There is the Kiba arm. So this is the very middle. Now, at the back of the middle here, you actually have a duffel bag and a jacket over there to loot. But if we head down to this front window, excuse me, my voice getting a bit sore. All the way down the front here to this giant big window that overlooks the front of the complex. There's a couple of things to check here. For one, this mannequin right here has absolutely nothing on him this time, but he'll often have a scav vest, sometimes some armor and helmet. But in the scav vest, you can search, there will usually be money and sometimes a key or 2. On this hat stand right here, often our AK is hanging off that hat stand. And so now we've got, so that's that side, that's the IKEA side of the top level done. There are like plenty of other little bits and pieces, but that's the main spots. Now on this side, on our right side, the Oli side, I'm gonna go along all these cash registers. Some of them are unlocked, some aren't. In these shops, again, chance to find helmets and stuff. Some shops are more frequent with the helmets than others, but you'll find that in your own time. In here we have a very well-known tech store called Kaka, I think it's called. Is it? That's called Techlight. Kaka must be cash register. So we got spark plug, 2 gas analyzer, and magnet. What else? Circuit. All sorts of things in here. Geiger counter, hard drive, or DVD drive rather. And then on top of this here, nothing this time, but you'll quite often find silencers, scopes. Night scopes are really common here, as are AK-103s. And that's it for that. This is another medical place. You can get a whole lot of meds in there. It's not as big as the other ones. But you know, you can sometimes get a morphine. There's a morphine right there. We head down this way. We've got more clothing stores that for the most part aren't really too much of a point of interest. But if we head down this side, so this is, we came up more or less here on the other side. We come in here. We actually have 2 weapons crates, one right there, and one just there. Now we'll head back to the middle. That's more or less it. But we came up, we started on the IKEA side. I mean, let's do a full tour. There are more shops along here that have things. This place here is an arcade store sort of thing. Back in the back of this place, there's actually a little like concert hall, and sometimes you get an AK spawn on one of these chairs, I believe. Could have even been on the ground there. Nope. So we started on the IKEA side, which means we want to find the Oli side to get out. So let's head back to the middle. There is also this pool table here, which often has an AK sitting on it. AKM specifically. Now, one thing to note is if you're ever having trouble working out where you are, all these maps are actually pretty useful. You just want to find a point of reference. So in this case, we know that that's the front. Means that's right there. Unfortunately, they don't have things saying you are here. But if that's where we are, we can see that we'd be around about here on the map. So in order to find Oli, we want to turn to our left, which is what we want to do. Let's go downstairs. Use this escalator over here. Downstairs and to the left. Let's follow the building around. And the Oli should be just around this corner here. There it is down there. So, if you start at the front of IKEA, you want to leave through the back of Oli. If you start out the back of Oli, you want to leave through the front of IKEA. That's basically how you want to work your path through the map. Now we head over this way. You can very easily come in here with friends, and in fact what I would recommend you do is you actually gear up. Insure all your gear so that if you end up being the last people alive on the map, you can dump it to take more stuff. But if you come in here with a group of 3, possibly 4, you should be able to hit all those containers and leave completely stacked with gear. And you know, you're not going to make the most money per hour playing this way, but you are going to find a lot of stuff in here. Like, you've got quest items. That's a little WD-40. There's batteries. Oh, excuse me. So you want to head to this back here. There are some weapon crates in this area. I don't know off the top of my head where they are though, so I'm not going to try and pretend that I do. But you want to leave through this garage. You got a weapons crate on our way out just over here. And we want to head down, and our exit is actually just over that way. Over there. Before we exit, we can go around this way. And there's another weapons crate around here. Now there's actually quite a lot of loot outside of the complex as well. I just find I don't need to worry about it. You need to run a lot more to get that loot. And by the time I'm done a run like that I've just covered, I've already filled up 3 times over and thrown away a whole lot of shit to replace it with better stuff for within the time, and I'm just kind of hobbling my way to exit, overflowing with loot. There's another crate here right next to the tank. So that is it, guys. That is how you can move through the map and hit around about 30 crates and around about 20 PCs. There's a whole lot of duffels and stuff along the way as well, but it's pretty easy. And like I said, if you come in with that Pilgrim and a MK3 rig, or even an Alpha rig, you can fill that up several times over. So I stream Tarkov most days at twitch.tv/a poison gift. There will be a link in the description. And if you have any other questions or whatever, or you'd like to see me do more videos like this, leave a comment below. Thanks.